Hi everyone, welcome to tonight's pre-recorded team call. Today is Wednesday, September the 9th, and tonight's team call topic is time management. I am exhibiting some time management right now by recording this call ahead of time because my very best friend in the world is moving to Denver tomorrow. So tonight I need to make some time for her. And that's the luxury of this business. So, before we get started, first of all, congratulations for being here and listening to this call. Second of all, if you have any questions, I will be available all day tomorrow to answer them, as well as throughout the week when you do get time to sit down and listen. Third, just to recap, the Challenge Pack promotions this month are PIO and the 3-day refresh. And as a little extra incentive for the person on our team that has the highest Success Club points for the month, the only requirement is you actually have to hit 5. But after you hit 5, whoever has the highest will be receiving a Polar FT4 heart rate monitor and calorie counter from me. So you have to hit 5 to be eligible, and then it's the person that has the most. So I'm really excited to tell you guys about that. So time management is on a lot of your minds. And I understand both facets of this. As my backstory, you guys know that when I started this business, I was working full-time. I was working as a nurse, so I did different things. Throughout that year that I was working full-time, I was either working Monday through Friday, and that was in the OR. And when I was in the OR, I would leave the house no later than 6. Normally about 5:45 I would leave the house, and I would work 7 to 4. And then when I got home, depending on how the day went and how traffic was and all that stuff, it was between 5:30 and 6, because I never really left at 4. Nurse life. Okay, so that was my first schedule. And then I went to the ICU. So for training, I did Monday through Friday, 7 to 3:30. And then I switched to nights, and I was working 3 12s overnight a week, which really takes up kind of 5 days, depending on how you look at it, because you're sleeping during the day leading up to a shift, sleeping the whole next day, and then if you have a day off, you're kind of recovering. It's very here and there. So I understand full-time work, and I also understand being home, especially with a baby. Being home with Liam actually allows me the very limited time. Before, whenever I didn't have a little baby that needed me all the time, I could go into my office and just work at night. And that I can't do now. I have to be thinking about the next day and this and that and all these things. So anyway, it's possible no matter what your schedule looks like. So I want to start out with just reminding you about a few facts, okay? And I have them written down here so don't screw it up. But there are 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week. There's 168 hours that every single person on the planet is working with every single week. And I remind myself of that because the most successful people in the world are making time for their kids and working out and running businesses and all this stuff. So it's possible, okay? So 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. 168 hours. If you sleep 8 hours a night, 1, congratulations. 2, that takes 56 hours out of your week. That leaves you with 112 hours after you take out sleep. Let's say you work outside of the home and commute 50 hours a week. There's 62 hours left after that. Let's say that you take an hour every night for your family for dinner. That's going to leave you with 55 hours. And let's say you spend 30 hours a week with your family doing fun things. So homework, so fun. But homework and snuggling, watching TV, going out, going outside, going to the movies, 30 hours a week we'll say that you're going to spend with them. So that could be like, 8 hours on the weekends, and then during the week, that's 2.5 hours a night, whatever it looks like for you. So 30 hours. So that leaves you with 25 hours left. And let's say that you work out an hour a day. That still leaves you with 18 hours that are unaccounted for in your day, or in your week, 18 hours a week. If you worked this business 18 hours a week, I'm sure that you'd be growing, right? I mean, it'd give you enough time to grow, and it kind of makes you realize, like, wow, maybe I have more time than I think about. And so, my first challenge to you, and this is a great thing, I want you to think about this for a second. What can you give up? What are you wasting your time on? I am a total television junkie. I have shows. I love my shows. And I also like after the baby goes to bed, I would rather sit down on the couch for an hour. But then it's really hard to drag myself off, right? So I have to give up that television time until after I'm done with my work for the night. Thank God for DVR. Like, so there's things that you can give up, whatever it is. Okay, so that's my first tip for time management, is that you need to look at how you're spending your time during the week and what you can do differently. My next time management tip, this is really important, okay? You have to set a schedule. You have to have work hours. Whatever that looks like for you is fine. So let me give you some examples. For me, I have set work hours at night. If you message me in the evening, I will probably get back to you right away. During the day, it's a toss-up. If Liam's entertaining himself or if he's taking a nap, and I'm not doing my work, like content development, where I will turn off Facebook, that kind of stuff, I can answer. But really, my work hours are about 8 to 10:30 at night. And then on the weekends, I do the mornings. So like if Bill has the baby, I can come in here for an hour or two or more. So you have to set work hours. You have to set a schedule. And I want you to remember this. Yes, we are in a business of the digital age. We are home, working from home, some of us, or not, or working from our phones and we're out and about. But we have this like thought in our head where we have to reply to every single message right away, or we're going to lose that challenger. We're not going to be able to help them. I've totally feared that. When I let that go, I realized that that does not deter many people at all. I don't let it go for 3 days. I let it go for, a few hours until I can sit down. And then the first thing I say is, I apologize for not getting back to you sooner. I have my scheduled work hours in the evening. That's it. If you were a brick and mortar business, you're not expected to keep your door open all night long. You're not calling your financial planner at 10 o'clock at night. And you respect that. They go home, right, to their family. You have a business. This is a business. This is not just playing on Facebook and answering every message as soon as you get it. So you have to set work hours. Sit down, look at your week. Look at those things we talked about. How long, what are you going to be able to give up? And set those work hours. If you work 12s and you're out of the house 16 hours, 15, 14 hours, and then you eat and you work out and you're like, no more time today, I have to sleep, then you're closed that day. You're closed for business. That's okay. There's things you can do that we're going to talk about that's going to allow you to still grow on the days where you're not sitting down to work. So the best thing, you guys have all heard of a power hour. You've all heard of it. It's been drilled into your heads. So today I want to talk about what I do during my power hour, what my bare minimum looks like, and how I keep track of it, and how I, expand it and plan ahead of time and all that stuff. So I first of all do not include my workout as part of my power hour. Yes, we have to be proof the product works, 100%. But that's me. That's for me. I'd do a workout if it wasn't for Beachbody, if I wasn't a coach. So that is not included in my power hour. First thing. Neither is my Shakeology. And honestly, my personal development is for me too. So I don't have that on my list. I keep it all three of those things, workout, Shakeology, and personal development, are on my everyday to-do list. But when I sit down in the office, it is focused and driven on growing my customer base, my network, all these things. So what do I do during power hour? The very first thing I do is sit down and I check the online office. I check Coach Breaking News. I look at my coaches and see how they're doing. I look at in our team page to answer any questions. all these things. So I'm just kind of checking the basics, and that takes me like less than 5 minutes, to be honest. I just looking at my volume, looking for new orders, looking to make sure challenge pack orders went through, whatever it is. The next thing I do is I eat my frog. If you've never read the book Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy, and you have a problem with procrastination, then you need to read it. Your frog is the thing that you hate to do, and you need to do it first. It's a priority. Mine is invites. Frogs are my invites. I have a goal this month to invite 40 people a week. For me, that looks like 10 a day, Monday through Thursday. This week, I didn't invite on Monday because it was a holiday, so I'm doing 15. I did 15 yesterday, I'll do 15 today, and I'll do 10 Thursday. And that's how I'll get my 40 this week. And that's going to supply me with tons of conversations to keep going on the days that I'm not actually sending new invites. And I can always send more if I want to. So the very first thing I do is invite. I send those messages. What I'm working on right now, and this is a tip for you guys that have been in this business for a little while, is I'm going through and clearing out my Facebook inbox. Don't judge. I've never done it. So when you're on your Facebook on the computer, you can hit the little X button if you hover on the right side of like the message list, and it says archive, and you can hit that and it will archive that message. So I have never done that. I'm going back right now. I started at the beginning of 2015. I'm going to clear all the way up, and then I'll do all of 2014, then 2013. I'm going to go look at these old messages where people said, hey, think of me next time, and then I forgot I didn't track it or follow up and fell apart. So now I'm going back and re-inviting these people and getting these conversations started again. So that's just a side note, Tim. Okay, I'm also going to do my follow-ups. So I'm going to look at the previous few days and see what conversations were left hanging. Whether I gave them a homework assignment like, hey, watch this video by tomorrow and we'll talk after that. Or hey, I might say like, hey, when do you think you can watch this video by? And they'll say, oh, tonight. And I'll say, okay, I'll follow up with you tomorrow. So I go ahead and do those follow-ups. The next thing I do is I do my, so I'm doing my invites and my follow-ups. Next, I'm going to friend 3 people on Facebook. I'm going to find them. If you aren't friends with everyone you went to high school and grade school with, you have more people. If you aren't friends with all your kids' friends' moms on Facebook, there's more people you can friend. So I'm going to do quick 3 invites. Takes, a minute. Seriously, 2 minutes if I have to search hard. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check in my challenge groups. I've already posted my workout accountability picture, but during nap time, that's when I'm going to write something good, like a good piece of content, a good motivation, a good tip, a good recipe, and I'm going to share that in my challenge groups. And that's when I have time to do it, to actually put the heart and soul into it. And then, okay, so now at this point in my day, I've listened to a podcast probably while I worked out. That's when I do a lot of personal development. When I read, it's in the tub. That's my thing. Nobody's ever going to take it away from me. So I listen to my personal development most of the time now. So I'm listening to a podcast while I worked out. That's during morning nap. This is how my day works. I have about an hour to an hour and a half in the morning. Podcast and workout, drink a shake, get a shower. I've already done 2 vital behaviors. Be proof the product works and do personal development. I'm posting my workout accountability. I'm posting something valuable about my workout on my page. And that's something I'm trying to grow with. It's not just posting a workout picture, but what it did for me, or what I learned today, or what I thought about it, or a great move, whatever it is. Okay, so I've already done this. Now I've done my invites, follow-ups. I've checked into my challenge groups. Now what? Right? Because you're thinking like, oh gosh, well that only took like 20 minutes. You're right. It only took 20 minutes. So for the rest of my power hour, and I usually get 2 hours in the afternoon. So right now, you guys, I'm working at the computer, probably an average at the computer of 3 to 4 hours a day right now. And that's raising a little one and keeping the house together. I feel like I'm my husband's secretary sometimes, which if you stay home, you kind of get me. Like I'm doing it's the dry cleaning and all these errands that you squeeze into an hour with the kids in the car. That all happens during the day. And then when Bill gets home at 5:30, it's phones away, basically. until Liam is down, which lately has been more like 8 o'clock. So anyway, during my afternoon nap, which is my big work blast, that's when I'm doing extra invites. I could possibly do extra invites, but I also do, and this is really helpful, and this is where we're going to talk about what you can do to get ahead for days that you don't work, right? Post planning and content development. What the hell do I mean? What I mean by post planning content development is every morning, I have a motivational post. So maybe I'll go on Pinterest and I will find my motivational picture for tomorrow morning and write the post in my notes page so that when Liam wakes up and he's hungry, I can copy and paste and post it right away on my personal page. Maybe I'm scheduling posts on my like page, which you can do. You just type up your post, and then right where it's next to it says post, there's a little drop down arrow. You click it and you can schedule ahead. So you could schedule to the next day's post if you know you're going to be at work all day. That's when I'm also going to expand into other social media. So for me, you guys know I like to write my blog. I feel like I can provide people the most value and humor and all of that on my blog. So that's what I might work on. That's when I'll do anything for you guys, like if I do a new infographic or record this call, that's all of those things. And that's when I also would spend time learning. So if I want to get better at my blog, this is when I might listen to an extra podcast or an extra YouTube video or catch up on team calls. A great question was asked in our team page: how do you handle, messaging all day and feeling like you're not working all day? And that's definitely where setting business hours comes into play. So when I invite right now, like typically, if I wasn't trying to clear out my inbox, which is my goal for the month, on a normal day, I would invite people that are online right now, which you can see with the little green circles on the side of your Facebook or on your phone. If you swipe left on Messenger and they have green circles next to them, that means they're on Messenger on Facebook right now. So that's when I message them in the hopes of getting a message back right away. So that's a really good way to just see if they're on now. And then the other thing is, if people message me back, I told you guys, especially at dinner time, I'm not answering. I'm just not. It can wait. People leave messages at businesses all the time. So, you want to schedule in a few other things. You want to schedule in our team calls on Wednesday nights. And there's always exceptions. You guys, my friends, my family are my life. So tonight, this is recorded for you ahead of time. That's okay. But you have to make time to listen to it. And whenever we do have live calls, which is usually every Wednesday, if you're not working, make time for it. If you're in a Wednesday night league, cancel it. Get into another night. Being on team calls is so important in that time management of knowing what you want to sacrifice and what you can't sacrifice is really important. And that's my next time management thing I want to talk about, guys, is sacrifice. Someone said this to me once, and it has stuck with me forever, and I have it on my wall right now. And it says, you need to work this business as if you're already making $1 million. As if you've already made $1 million. If I was making, a 6-figure income at this point, would I be willing to give up more for it? Yeah. But you know what? You can't get there until you give it up. It's that simple. So you have to go to work. If you work, you have to work, right? I mean, none of us are going out of the house to work for, fun. But how can you balance your time outside of work, and what are you willing to give up to get to where you want to be in this business? That's what I have had to ask myself. When I worked full time, what I would do is come home, we would eat dinner, and then I would say, okay, give Bill a kiss, and I would go into the office. That's what we did. Now that we have Liam, that's my most valuable prize time is when we're all together. So I work during naps. He's losing his morning nap. So my new sacrifice is to get up at 5 and work from 5 to 7. Because cross your fingers, he's still sleeping till 7 this week. Sometimes 6:30. But if I can get my workout, you know, the stuff I told you I do in the first nap, so workout, personal development, shower, if I can get that done before he wakes up, then I have the whole morning to be a mommy and a wife, which is my job. So I can run the errands and be on the floor with him and, you know, like play with water, whatever the heck you do with babies. He played with water today. He picked up the dog's water bowl and spilled it on himself. Anyway, so working makes it tough, but so does being home. So everybody has their struggles. Everybody has to give things up. You guys know I won't give up my time with my family. I'm doing this for them, but I do have to sacrifice some of it. And I listened to this amazing Periscope Tara Carr did a couple weeks ago, and she's like, hey, listen, everybody's telling you priorities, rest, do this, take breaks, it's good for your brain. She said, I would never be where I was today if I didn't work 80 hours a week for the first 3 years I was in this business. That's what she said on her Periscope, and she's right. You don't have to do that. If that's not what you want for this, then balance is all about balance. So next thing with time management, and this is going to save you, okay? So you need to have a power hour checklist. That's the first thing. If you don't have one, I have one for you. I can help you. I'll attach it with this video, or it's in our team page, but there's the business activity tracker. Duh. Use it. Send it to me on Wednesdays. But I also made one called, like, I forget exactly what the file's called, but it's like a daily activity tracker on Excel. It's almost the same as the BAT, but it's just a different version. That's all. And it has some tips on it on what you should be posting on Facebook. But my other tip, this is huge, on the start of your week. So for me, it's Sundays, the end of your week. Really dig into my beginning. Sunday night, I sit down and take a half an hour, a full 30 minutes, and I write down everything that I can think of that needs to get done this week. So I'll give you an example. We're going away to a wedding up in the mountains. We leave Friday, and the wedding is Saturday, built in it. And then Sunday, we're going from Somerset to from the mountains, from the wedding to the airport, and he's going to Chicago for the week for work. So then I come home. So for this week, my Sunday to-do list, I had everything. I was, changing the sheets, getting the things ready for my parents and Bill's parents to take Liam, doing this, like dry cleaning. I'm worried about making sure I have enough invites, checking in with you guys, team page posts, challenge group posts. I have it all mapped out. And then every single night before I go to bed, whoops, I have a lot of messages. I'm going to use this app. It's right here down in the corner. There. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's called Do. Okay, so when I open it, this literally has everything I need to do for the next few days listed in it. I mean, record team call, track my challenger follow-ups that I did yesterday, 10 challenger check-ins, because at this point in my business, I have a lot of challengers that are still using the product on and off, so I try to spread it out. I'll do 10 a day, and that's part of my power hour. Take out all the garbage, clean the fridge, listen to a podcast, invite 15, vacuum, hang clothes in the bedroom, schedule PCP appointments. Literally every single little thing I have to do is on this list. The reason is if it's not, I'll forget it and procrastinate. But now it allows me to sit down, touch my app, open it up, and I know everything I have to do today. So easy. It makes it so easy, and it allows you to get things done faster. So while you're peeing at work or taking a lunch break, what do you have to do in your 30 minutes that you have? If you have 20 minutes to work today, what can you do? What are the activities that are going to push you the furthest in your business? Inviting usually, right? Following up, making sure you're running good challenge groups, checking in with your challengers, posting in your challenge groups, all these things. What brings me to another point. If you have an hour a day, it's not always 60 minutes straight. Maybe you're willing to get up 15 minutes extra early to, check into your challenge groups and send a few follow-up messages. So there's 15 minutes. And then maybe you get an hour-long lunch. I doubt you get a whole hour. So maybe you get a half an hour. Maybe you're willing to give up 15 of those minutes to send out your invites. So you just send them out, your, 3 to 5 invites. And then you want to spend 30 minutes a night when you get home. So that's the end of your power hour. It doesn't have to be all together, and some days you'll have 0 minutes. But if you did your power hour the previous day, and you spent a little extra time on planning ahead, writing those posts ahead of time, you're going to have more success in getting things done, in productivity. If you really want to find some great business building, personal development, I highly recommend Chalene Johnson's Build Your Tribe podcast. It's my latest obsession. I'm learning so much, and next week I'm going to go, I have an assignment from the podcast to host a mastermind session. So next week's team call is going to be focused on my teaching you what Chalene taught me about how to set some goals on how to earn more in the next 90 days. And we're going to bounce ideas off of each other, and it's going to be a really interactive call, which is my preference personally. I hate just sitting here and talking to you. I want everyone to talk to me and tell me their ideas and everything. So that's next week, Wednesday the 16th. We'll be doing that call. So I'm super excited for that. So just let's go over the recap, okay? If you're not using a list, that's my biggest tip. You need to use a list, work from a list. But first thing I want you to do is sit down and look at your week. If you work outside the house or you work in the house, if you need to be spending 8 hours a day writing, then that's work. It doesn't matter if you're home, it's work. So do one thing. You know what, I'm sidetracking already in my recap, but if you guys are trying to do too many things at once, nothing's going to get done. Do one thing at a time. Laser focus on what you're doing. If I turn off Messenger, turn off my phone, or turn it on silent, don't look at it, and have my list in front of me, I can power through so many things in a half an hour to an hour. It's not even funny. It's kind of like cleaning your house the 10 minutes before you get a surprise visitor. You know what I mean? Like, you get so much done. That's how it is when you work from a list. Focus on one thing at a time. So we have writers on our team. If you need to write, that's your work. Close the door, turn off Facebook. You're not answering messages. Stop letting it block you up. Just write. If you're at work and you're a nurse, you work. You take care of those people. That's your job. And then when you have time off, that's when you do it. Brittany Leggett was a great coach, and she was a nurse. And when she would have ideas from while she was on the floor with her patients, there's an app called Voice Memo, comes on most iPhones. She would literally go into the corner and be like, post about da 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 da. When she went home, that's when she did it. Okay, so do that. Anyway, one thing at a time. That's one good tip. So recap. Look at your week. Map it out. Every week, how much time are you spending at work? How much time are you driving? How much time are you sleeping? When do you want to have family time? What engagements do you have? Do you have weddings? Do you have rehearsal dinners? Do you have trips? I'm looking at our calendar, dinner dates, whatever. Schedule it. Know how much time you have to invest in your week of work, your Beachbody work. Set that schedule. Set your office hours. They're yours. They're flexible. It doesn't have to be the same thing every day. If you know on Wednesday you work a bajillion hours and you're not working, you are closed that day. You just need to post, and you just need to make up your invites the next day. That's it. Or you need to make the time and give up half an hour of sleep and get a few things done. Your choice. Do your power hour. And the best thing with power hour, I love the power of 3 concept. If you send 3 invites, 3 follow-ups, you send 3 coaching invitations a week. If you do things in 3s, things get done. That's just how it works. Add 3 friends. 3 invites, 3 follow-ups, 3 friends, 3 coaching invites. If you did that every single day, I guarantee you would grow. And I never say that, guaranteed. Um, do your post planning and do your content ahead of time. When you're going to the bathroom, when you're watching TV, instead of scrolling through Facebook, write a post. Those are the things that you can do to make your time work for you. So work from the list. I hope that you found this really helpful. I apologize for not being here live for you guys tonight, and I appreciate you understanding. And please don't forget the Success Club prize for this month. This is a big one. You know, I love the idea of rewarding you guys for your hard work, and you all are working really hard. If you're on this call, you're probably working really hard. And maybe this call opened your eyes, even planning it opened my eyes about what you could do more, what you want to give up, or what you don't want to give up. It has to be your choice. And I truly believe you have to honor your priorities, honor your spouse and your family, and spend that time with him, but also remember that you're doing this for them. Most of us on this team are doing this for them. So, with that being said, I'm going to sign off and wish you all a really great Wednesday evening. Tomorrow's payday, so I hope it's great. And I hope that if it's not, next week is better, which I know you can do. All right, have a good night.